What's going on today then, Wolfie? Well, it involves chrome, it involves paint, and it involves noise. So watch the film and you'll find out. Hello and welcome to another edition of Wolfie's Wheels. Today it's a bit different. We're in the Yorkshire town or village of Baildon in West Yorkshire, where the Harley Davidson Riders Club, HDRC, are having their annual rally. They do this every August bank holiday and have done for the past, I don't know, at least 17 years to my knowledge, probably longer. So they're actually going on a long ride out at about 1 o'clock. So we'll have a quick look around the bikes, about which I know very little, and then we'll just put the film on of the procession as it leaves the village. It's a nice August bank holiday, as you can see by the variety of clothing which sort of Mrs. Wolfie is wearing, and other people are a bit more casually dressed. But I mean, I don't know how well this is going to come out, but there are loads of bikes, and so mainly the Harleys, and even get dogs on bikes as well. How super is that? Trikes, so mostly Harleys, but there's a few Triumphs, the Yamahas, but yeah, I mean, the village really comes alive every year at this time. The Malt Shovel pub is sort of the hub of it all, and in the trailer here that you can see, live music at night. The whole high street is shut off for a couple of days, and everybody, the locals, it's a brilliant thing that goes on here every year. Everybody loves it. In many ways it is very hard to talk about the Harleys and what the individual models are, because they're all very different. I think when you buy a Harley, you kind of buy the base bike, and very few of them remain stock for long. Everybody likes to put a bit of personalisation on them, and you know, this can range from just sort of a stage 1 tune and an air filter right through to something like this, which is a completely different bike. It's got the Screaming Eagle intake, 120 cubic inch, Screaming Eagle probably cams in it, I would imagine. But as I say, I don't really know enough about the Harleys to say what it started life as. It's a soft tail look, which basically looks like it's a rigid rear frame here, but it's actually got a shock absorber up there, so it moves up and down as per usual. But yeah, that's lovely. The looks are the more traditional chopper style look with the big bars on it, raked out front end, so equally lovely. Newer bikes go for the vintage look, and I really like this. This is very much my thing. It's got a Springer front end, so the forks actually pivot down here, and this is the shock, the springing mechanism up there. Very popular on certainly pre-war bikes, less so now, but it's a great look. And again, this has got the hardtail look rear end, which has actually got the spring in it, but that is really nice. This one is based on a Sportster, so it's got the normal forks, twin shocks at the rear, and 48 cubic inch, I think. So I think that makes it the 883, but it might be a 1200, I'm not sure. Straight through pipes, as I say, very different to how it would have left the factory. I mean, the paintwork is really good, incredible. Of course, there's no reason to ever give up riding a bike, because you can always take it to the next stage and actually make it into a trike if the weight of the bike becomes too much. So again, a non-standard thing, but wow. We've got another Sportster here. Really like this one. It's so it looks so light and easy to ride. This is the 1200 Sportster, so it'll be 5-speed belt drive on all Sportsters, of course, from probably about 2000s, I would think, but I'm not entirely sure. Straight through Screaming Eagles. Bit of a rarity here, the Indian Scout. Indian used to make bikes at the same time as Harley started out, but this is a sort of much newer incarnation. I think they went out of business for many years, and may have been bought, and I'll check this out, may have been bought by Polaris, who make, amongst other things, skidoos and jet skis and things like that with a similar engine. But, yep, you won't see many of these on the road in the UK. Got here a Buell, which is the sort of racing arm, as it were, of Harley. These were quite popular in the 2000s. Very, very fast bike, because there's basically nothing to it apart from the engine, with the rest of the necessities kept to a minimum and bolted on, but are very popular as a rider's bike. If you wanted a Harley but didn't want all of the chrome and bells and whistles that you sort of see elsewhere. It's a 1966 bike here. Can't remember what it's called. The police used to use them. Electra Glide, I think. Yeah, Electra Glide, as you can see on the front mudguard. That's very nice indeed. Steering damper at the front. That basically, you tighten that up and it stops the handlebars waggling too much. Central speedo, panniers, big single seat. It is very nice indeed, and very much my cup of tea. So, kickstart. I think this is what they call a shovel head, because these sort of resemble shovels if you look at them end on. Pushrod engine on the outside, 1200cc I think, and a non-integral gearbox. So the gearbox is there, the engine is there, separate units. I think it's a dry sump bike, and the oil goes in there. So not only do we have Harleys, but we've got some really nice pair of really nicely restored Triumphs. So whilst the USA was doing the Sportsters, this was the sort of UK equivalent. It says 1960 TR6 on the front on an F plate, so I would have thought that would be 67, but I'm not an expert, so I don't really know. I think the main difference between the TR6 and the Bonneville, which is its sportier stablemate, is the single carburettor, which is on the TR6, and I believe the Bonnie had a twin carb, not the single. But yeah, it's in really, really nice condition. I care not whether it is 1960 or 1967, quite frankly. It's a nice looking bike, as indeed is the one next to it. Again, single carb, so it's probably another TR6, but I'm not entirely sure. It's just absolutely packed. Everyone having a great time. It's so nice to see. As I say, the village really likes this event. It does an awful lot for the village. The amount of money that gets spent in the pubs is great, and everyone loves it. No idea how many bikes are actually here, but I know that as the parade goes past, which we'll see in a minute, there's takes ages for it to go past, and they go from, I'm not entirely sure where they are going. I've not really spoken to anybody about it, but we'll just walk round, look at just some of the bikes as we walk through. I mean, the one down here has really caught my eye. Very, very unusual. I mean, look at the pipes on this, fishtails on the back, bars. Again, hardtail look, but without the Springer front end. It's got the conventional forks. But yeah.
I think the motorcycling industry is kind of like...
Wheels are certainly not stock Harley wheels. So, ranging from sports Ducatis 916s to cruising Harleys. Very heavily customised, again with the long fishtail pipes on it. 1250. I've not seen one of those. Retirement edition, I like that. I think that's a fairly new one, I would imagine. Yeah, 23 plated. So, yeah, very unusual. As in, I've not seen one. Triumph Rocket 3. So this is a 2.5 litre, 3-cylinder British-made bike. Exhaust on it, like that. Yeah, it's a big beast. Yeah, well, I mean, it's quite interesting that it's a Triumph called it the Rocket 3, whereas in my head the Rocket 3 was always the BSA equivalent of the Triumph Trident, which was a 1970s 3-cylinder engine bike that Triumph, British Motorcycle Group, made, the Triumph BSA, to counter the Japanese Honda 754. Basically, I think they just grafted a single cylinder on the side of a Bonneville engine. It got a reasonable reputation for unreliability, but then I think British bikes generally did then. But anyway, let's wander down here at the other end of the village, and you know, I mean, the amount, as I say, I can't emphasise how many people always come out every year to watch this event. It is incredible. We're going to work our way down through the crowds. Roads are mostly shut off. Try and get across here without being run over. Yep, we can do this. It's a one-way street. And we'll wander down the hill to our vantage point where we can film the bikes going out. I reckon it's 5 minutes early, but nevertheless. Hundreds of bikes, I mean, they just keep coming. Strike. That Mad Max. That car's not going to get very far. I shall mostly keep quiet because I'm just listening to the bikes. Sometimes you get police bikes as well and have their sirens going. Fantastic. In some ways it's a shame they're going downhill because they're sort of coasting rather than engines really working. But you get the idea. Like that. So far we've been going for 3 minutes at this point, and we haven't got to the end of the bikes yet. As I say, hundreds of bikes. Oh, and a couple of scooters as well. His arm is beginning to ache. Hopefully we can still keep it steady. Four minutes, it's still coming. Nice BMW there. And I think this is the end of it. Yeah, there you go, 4 minutes 12 seconds to get through. So I think basically they go in the long parade, and I know they're going over as far as Otley, which is about 7 or 8 miles away, probably coming around in a loop, maybe doing about 20 miles. But of course there's many junctions and traffic lights, but they have such a good relationship with the police and the local communities that the police and other people actually shut off junctions so the guys can all stay together and don't get cut apart by intervening traffic. I don't know whether they're raising money for charity this year. Often these things do have a charitable bias as well. But yeah, wow, how about that? So if you saw yourself on the film, give it a thumbs up, tell your mates about it, and hopefully you enjoyed it anyway. Thank you so much for watching. As I say, feel free to subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything. I don't make any money out of the channel, Mrs. Wolfie in the background. And I look forward to seeing you in a future episode of Our Wolfie's Wheels. Bye.